Back at Realcomm Live, it has been a wild 2 days. Yesterday, corporate real estate, technology, facilities, the workplace, great conversations. Pivoted a little bit from our normal plan, from a day and a half of CoreTech to 1 day CoreTech, and then 1 day full Buildings AI. Corporate people stayed in the room, but then we were joined by commercial, institutional, campus, and we did this because of the momentum we got out of the conference. And then at AI Advisory Group, about 60 people that popped up after, that we felt the momentum. We said we can't wait till June, so let's put a honeypot out there and see who's attracted. Whoever shows up is leaning in. So I call everybody who's been in that room the foundational organizations, people in our industry who are either have been in this a while and know it's real and have something to say legitimate. And I don't know about you, but since the first presentation this morning, I'm always running around, stuff like that, but I've been trying to sit and listen as much as I can today, and I have learned a ton.
It's great content. It's been fantastic content. Yeah.
So you and I go back 15 plus 20 years? I mean, how long ago were you at Shorenstein?
I started 2007. So 16 years.
16 years, okay,
Yeah,
15,
yeah.
So we met when you were on the commercial side. You had a great reputation, you did a great job inside Shorenstein, and then you made the shift to the corporate, or the service provider, CBRE.
Right.
Look, for some context, why that change?
Shorenstein, I had hit the ceiling at Shorenstein. Shorenstein is a great company, but it's a family investment manager, owner operator, and they're happy at what they wanted to do.
Right.
And so I transformed that company. I remember you'd mentioned earlier about the cloud, right? I think so long ago. Shorenstein, we were one of the leading people to do that. I remember talking about the cloud at Shorenstein with other people in the industry, and it's like, oh no, we can't have our data leave. So it was clear that at that time I was just ready for something different. I was a CIO for 7 years before that, so 15 years of CIO work. And I was looking for client-facing work.
Right.
I enjoy people and I enjoy
risk takers, and you wanted to be around risk takers, if I remember.
Instead of the corporate, so the position came up and decided to make the move.
And you have been really close and tight with us for the last 7+ years.
And I appreciate the partnership with
us as well. I mean, you are CBRE. Actually, Realcomm was founded basically on some contracts with CBRE 28 years ago. Nancy Stone, who you know well, came from CBRE's IT department in Redondo Beach. Yeah,
I did not know that.
We did a program where we educated people, 30 plus CBRE offices in 1996, 97. So my relationship with CBRE goes way back. The software cloud company that I started in 99, RE Apps, Boyd Van Ness was your chief administrative officer at the time. He was one of our first board members. So
wow.
A career of relationship with CBRE. So when I saw you went there, I said, that's a great home for Stuart based upon what you wanted to do. So in the last few years, you've been diving into big Silicon Valley companies. Can you talk about that a little bit, some of the clients?
Yeah, sure. So the first couple years was on the platform, so supporting all clients, and that's where I was just doing innovation, and I talked about a couple of pilots I got involved in early, which was really fun. And then the opportunity came to me to come to one of our big tech clients that uses technology that's not standard, right? And they were looking for some leadership, so I went there, and it's been 4.5 years, and it's been great. I've learned a lot. You get to dive in.
And you brought that DNA into our community. 4 years ago. Between Daryl Smith and Mark Golan and others, but you were also in that account and learning from these really smart tech people, and their appetite was a little bigger than most to play around.
Right. When you get to a company, so it's the largest large tech companies, and they're trying to do things at scale. And so I've learned a lot there. Learn what works, what doesn't work.
If it works
it's been exciting.
If it works there, it can work anywhere.
Well, yes and no. If it works there, it can work anywhere, except it's also hard to move some big ships. When you got to do things at scale, sometimes it's also harder.
Is it easier to move a big ship that's tech related, or say a consumer product company, or, because they're tech savvy, is it a little easier to have the discussions with them?
It's easier to have discussions, but then again, there's a lot of people who, because they're all very tech knowledgeable, sometimes it's hard to get to a consensus.
Right.
And that, it's not about that particular company at all, but just in general, tech companies tend to be that way because they're tech companies.
Right.
Yeah.
And so here we are, 2023. You were in the room in 2016 when on and Trinity were on the stage and I asked the question about AI, so that's 7 years ago.
Yeah.
We all went dormant till ChatGPT. CBRE's been on this for a while though, right?
They have, and right, so dormant's not necessarily the right word.
No,
but
I'm saying in general, our community, but you guys weren't.
Right, we weren't, and so the data platform that I mentioned, so there's this enterprise data platform. It was created, it's been about 6 years, roughly, and it's been transformational. I mean, I give CBRE a lot of credit for creating that platform where really everything's brought into a common data model, a CRE canonical data model that CBRE created, and it really has enabled everybody within the company to create insights. And so now that is 6 years-ish in the making, and you put AI on top of it. It's Chandra, Sandeep.
I mean, early stages before Sandeep, it was Chandra.
Right, yeah, because Chandra was, I'd gotten there a few months before Chandra, and you could also see some of the transformation.
Because she keynoted along with your CEO, Bob Selenick.
Bob Selenick, I
yeah,
remember
yeah, that was probably
that was Nashville?
No, that was Vegas. That was our 20th anniversary.
Okay.
That was our 20th anniversary. So you've got the scale, you've got the organization, your statistics were impressive. I want to deep dive in the next couple of weeks because I want to understand everything you were saying on those slides. Because you're the icebreaker for the industry, right? You've got the size and scale where you can be the first ship in, you're equipped to be the first ship in and clear the ice for smaller companies who may not be equipped. You got the tech, you got the vision, you got the infrastructure. How hard is it to get the business to pay attention?
Today, it's not that hard,
Really?
to be honest. The business is very interested. The business understands it. So we have business champions that help support it.
Property management, facilities management, investment management.
They really are hungry. So
Really?
if you asked me 5 years ago or whatever, I'd say, yeah, oh my God, it's hard. But now, and especially over the last year, we talked about how ChatGPT has just raised the awareness of it, even though there's still a lot of hype in what you can do specifically, it has raised the awareness and the capabilities, absolutely.
So with all of your experience in commercial, moving to services, 7-inning series, what game, what inning, AI built environment?
We're still very early. I'd say, maybe not first inning, but second inning.
First game, first inning, or second game?
7 series. I don't know. That's a hard question. Second game, maybe. Yeah. I mean, so
second game, early inning.
Yeah, it's real. We have real use cases. We have real outputs to it. But it's still so early.
So I've been talking. I mean, I've been like the last 90 days have been all AI.
Right.
Not just because of this event, but because of what happened at the Realcomm and IBCon, and then the advisor group that we've been talking to. It's just you follow the energy, right? And there are still some disbelievers out there.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
right?
They're absolutely.
So what do you say to them?
Give it a try, right? I mean, do something simple. Get a document, a contract. Put it through, just as you saw today, where someone took a manual from, how to install, a dishwasher, right? Load that into it and then ask a question, how do I do ABC from that manual? And you'll get that information back that you could converse in an English manner with information that's stored in a document.
Is there a time when an entry-level employee at CBRE is comfortable with using AI on a daily basis? Like, I mean, everybody. Does it hit everybody in the organization?
It is open to everybody, so we have a playground that is internal. It's not open to the public. It doesn't, no data leaves, and so everybody in the company has access to it, and it's exposing. I think what we're seeing is people realizing. So because you get to try it, you can load a document, it will translate. You can load a document, it will give a summary. You can ask it to create content.
Do you use ChatGPT as your foundation?
There's a bunch of different LLMs, so it's a multi-LLM.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so there's a bunch of different ones. We partner with the biggest tech clients, companies. We have some open source tools and libraries that we use, and so there's various ones there that are open to it.
And is it a closed?
Yeah, it's closed.
It's closed,
right. So yeah, no data leaves the company, and so there's a UI built on top of it. You can actually say, hey, I want this a little bit more creative than this one. You can fine tune the creative. You can fine tune how large it is and the token size.
How about visual and audio? Yeah, did you venture there?
I don't believe visual is in there yet. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check.
Okay.
Yeah.
So second game, first couple innings. What do you tell a young professional in our industry as it relates to AI?
I think a young professional is going to be asking us, how come we're not even farther ahead, right?
Really?
I mean, well, yeah, so, we're at an age where, it's we've learned a lot over our years. A young professional is a digital native, right? And so
They
this
are,
is common
they
to them.
are, but I don't get that curiosity that you and I have. I mean, I've had a curious personality in IT for over 35 years, and still to this day have it. Even young people are busy doing things the way they were done 5 years ago. Yeah, they're creative on TikTok and Instagram and others, but I wonder if the younger generation coming in is really intuitive and hungry and curious enough to come to you and say, we want more.
I believe they are. I
Right,
believe-
so
yeah,
you've been
think,
feeling that.
Yeah, I think you're gonna get, either someone is intuitive or curious or not, is kind of more separate from their age. I think people might take it for granted, and they may walk in and go, oh, how come you can't do ABC that I can do in TikTok or something
Right,
like that? So you
right.
might get some of that. But the younger people that I see, and I've got people on my team who are very early in their career, maybe they're on our team, so we picked them, but they're very, inquisitive.
So somebody coming out of college, even first 10 years of their career, has got a lot of real estate experience, or not a lot, but the appropriate amount of experience for being 30, and they're not tech savvy. What's your advice?
Just be inquisitive. Get out there and learn about what is happening. You don't need to be, as I said earlier, the democratization, the mainstream access has made it so you don't need to be a techie anymore to really understand
It's like Google
it.
search.
Yeah, right. And so you
Google
can just,
Earth,
Bing chat or Google chat or Google search. You can do all those. So you don't need to be tech savvy. You just need to be interested in doing new things and being innovative.
Yeah, I mean, we've both been at this for a while, and I was telling Howard that, I mean, these slides yesterday and today got my attention. I mean, I'm always running around, half listening, taking care of stuff. I tried to be seated as much as I could today, watching every presentation, because I was learning.
There's a lot there.
There's a lot to unpack there, and there's just no denying that it is the future. So, my advice would be, like you said, be curious, first and foremost. Always ask, is there a better way?
Right.
How does this improve my life? How does this improve my department, my company, the industry? And jump in and give it a shot. So what's your parting advice to anybody, any age, in the real estate industry who like I said, maybe they are or they're not tech savvy? What's, other than try it, is there any other insight that you would offer?
Do research, right? I mean, I think there years ago I used to try to get on social media just because I was a sponge of information. I'd say just whatever avenue is best for you. Go back to being inquisitive. I think that's the best thing. Yeah.
Well, and as big as you are, CBRE, like you said, largest in the world, it is amazing how an organization of that size keeps their innovative spirit going, and constantly, everybody I know at your company, every day tries to get better at what they do.
That's the entrepreneurial spirit.
That's a culture.
Yeah, it is a culture.
And this is just a new tool.
Yeah,
culture.
exactly.
So, absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
Long time in this conversation. Thank you for being part of this, adding your insight and your expertise. Really, really appreciate it. And I'm sure this is not our last conversation.
Great. All right, look forward to it.
Thanks,
Jim.
sir.
Appreciate it.